Hello, my dear students. I am back again. A very good morning to all of you. Today, that day also, I told you something about composition, and today also, I will continue with composition only. After all, it is a matter of 20 marks. So, that day, I told you about short story. What are the points you have to keep in mind while you are writing a short story? Today, I am going to tell you about narrative. Narrative is the first person account. First person I, we. So in that question, and it may be a question that you went to somewhere and you have to and in that incident something occurred, so that brought a change in you, something like that. It may be not described. Descriptive is a different thing. In this you have to narrate your experience. So when you have to narrate your experience, that will be your own feelings, your own experience, your own viewpoint. So that will be I. So that is first person account. You have to narrate what happened in that incident and how that incident affected you. How did it bring the change in you? And then thirdly, it is descriptive. So there also in narrative also you have to write. First of all, you see the question, because the question itself contains 2-3 parts. And when you are attempting the question, you must see whether you are able to write down 300 to 350 words in that or not. You have to see that you should be able to write down. It should have a proper beginning, a proper introduction, and then the body. In the body there will be 3-4 paragraphs, and then of course concluding. But what is asked in the question, all the points should come in that. When, where, in narrative, when you are going to narrate an incident. When, where, why, how much, what, all these points should be depicted in your composition while you are writing the composition. Because in the composition, if there is any question left as to when, as to why, where, as to why, so if any question is left unanswered, you will not get very good marks, children. So you have to write down the total account in serial order, and that too, it should answer each and every aspect of that. Next is descriptive. As I told you, sometimes it may be asked that you have to describe the morning scene, or you got up from the bed and you saw that there was a chain somewhere, so you have to describe that. Or you have to describe the scene when something went wrong in your locality, or you have to describe the scene when there was no electricity or something like that. So you have to describe in that case. So description means you have to you can use adjectives also. You can describe each and everything minutely. You can use adjective phrases to describe your viewpoint, and in that case also mind mapping is required. Suppose there is a question that you have to describe the morning scenes. So each and every aspect of morning scene, the sight, the sound, the atmosphere, the environment, and in one paragraph you will describe each and everything. And then in your locality, which type of environment do you see, and you may compare it with others also. That is, there in the village the morning is different, here the morning is different. So morning scene you have to describe. You may describe the morning scene at a village, in a city, in a metropolitan city. You can compare it, that is no issue, but you have to describe it basically. And then next is argumentative. In argumentative it is written yes or no. If you agree, I agree. If you do not agree, I do not agree. And when you are agreeing to anything, so you have to prove it with at least 5-6 examples in one paragraph, one example, and the example should be everyday life examples. Like you can take Modi ji's example, you can take Gandhi ji's example, you can take Newton's example, you can take anybody's, even your mother or your father. If you have seen that what is the outcome of any incident and you want to prove it, so you can take the example of anyone. Okay, but you have to make sure that it should be either agree or do not agree. You cannot just switch over to I do not agree. This is also right, but this can also be. So either for or against. If you are for, then you will say I am for, I agree to it. And all those 7-8 paragraphs which you will be writing, that will show that you agree to it. And when you disagree, when you are against any topic, all those 4-5 paragraphs which you are writing, that should show that you are against it, and the incidents should be depicted in your essay to prove your viewpoint. Take the examples of others, but that doesn't mean that your idea will not be original. Your idea will be original with the examples, everyday life examples. Next is picture composition. In picture composition, a picture is there. So either you can write a story in that, or you can write narrative in that, or you can write descriptive in that. But it should be an account. That picture composition should be like depicting. You cannot just like write like class 2, 3, 4 students that I can see this here, I can see that. No, it's not like that. You have to describe it, or you have to with the incident, or you have to write first person account also in that picture. You can think that one of the boys or one of the girls is you, and then you can narrate it with that. So I hope you have understood what you have to do in composition. First of all, a good introduction, then body, in body 3-4 paragraphs, then conclusion. This thing you have to keep in mind, and then it should not be less than 300 to 350 words. And then thirdly, you have to understand what the topic says. Read the topic 3-4 times. Then mind mapping should be done perfectly. Mind mapping means you get 15 minutes to read the question paper. At that time only you have got 5 topics in front of you, and you have got 15 minutes in hand. At that time only you can do mind mapping. Mind mapping means, like suppose in question number 1 any story is there. So if you think that you can write that story, so in that story what will be there? Suppose you have to write any story in which there are 2 characters. Suppose you met somebody, okay, and then you have to write a story based on that. So mind mapping means you will be meeting. You will be thinking like this, that meeting, and then what happened, incident, which incident occurred, and then characters. So these all things should be there in your mind while you are reading. So, and then incident, then and there. Plot should then and there should come to your mind, how you are going to develop your plot. If you are unable to do that, don't attempt it. Then descriptive also, all of a sudden if you see that describe any place or describe any sound or sight or sound, see what is asked in the question, what you have to describe, and then go through the minutest aspects of it also. So in descriptive you have to take care of this thing. Argumentative also I have told you. I hope you have understood what you have to do in composition. This question number 1 composition is clear to you. I hope you have understood. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.